Okay, I've been quite depressed in the last few years, I could say, but let's just say the last few days, more so than before. I don't really know why. But I came across Gabrielle. Again, like Jamil, her name just, I don't know, kept coming into my head, and I did have her on my playlist. I had a lot of her songs on my playlist. And for some reason, I've noticed that a lot of the songs that I do actually like are not necessarily songs that really relate to me, but rather just um, songs that are, I don't know, different. Like that, the Camellia Life, the Jamelia, um, some best things in life are free. I used to love that song a lot, and then there's and um, that Gabrielle. Um, Make sure the woman's a friend. I love those two songs a lot, and that other one wasn't even on YouTube. um, Best things in life are free. I mean, it makes sense if it's talking about the interviews, because when it comes to the interviews, I said that before in the last video, that I would rather do interviews with Christians when not paying them. I'd rather they do it for free. And I feel like that song might encourage them. Best things in life are free. Here's Christ. You want to speak to her? Okay, you're not going to think she's Christ, but you know, it's best things in life are free. You can have a free conversation. Um, yeah, I'd say that I want it to be free, just because I don't want to be giving them any kind of reward for talking to me, especially when they're spending their whole life just making videos about me, pretending that they know what's going on. There's a lot of people that do this with celebrities. They don't know anything. They read things, and then they make videos as if they do know exactly what's going on. There could be friends that come up and make statements and stuff, and they could be like, well, this person's made this statement, and this person's made this statement. For example, in the Diddy case, that I've forgotten his name, but that guy who was saying that, yeah, F, Diddy did say that he's going to drug the girls up or stuff, but he looks mad. I don't know how he's sitting, how he's positioned, how he's talking. He looks like he's not right in the head. I don't know, just like there's something about him that just makes me think he's crazy. And therefore, I don't necessarily know if they how close they really were. I don't know anything, but that's the thing. I don't know, and you can't just watch that and say, yeah, that's evidence. And then there's another girl who was supposed to be Cassie's friend, and I saw that video where she was saying, I don't even know what she said. It was kind of drained and long, but she could have just been someone who met her a couple of times or just hung out. If you're a person, you have loads of sort of connections, and some people you don't know very well. I bet if I had have gone on to Big Brother and said that I'm Christ, I bet there would have been a ton of people who I've seen as clients once or twice coming forth and saying, yeah, I offer everything. I bet there would have been loads of people willing to do that. And even in the streets the other day, I was walking down, and someone was like, hey, 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 I'll come and see you. I keep kind of call you. And it's like, I didn't even recognize him, but apparently he was a regular. I didn't recognize him at all. I don't recognize people who receive, but yeah, this is just how it is. There's so many people that you can't just trust everything you see on that, and it's really annoying me. Anyway, so I went to Gabrielle. Gabrielle. I haven't really listened to her songs. I know she has a very deep voice. I know she's very like a mature person. That video that I watched, because I called her Angel of the Appearance. I kind of wanted to find out more about her, like why she hadn't done anything, or at least I thought she hadn't done anything. I wasn't aware that she had done any songs in the last 10 years. So I guess I thought she stopped, but she hasn't. She did do two more albums, I think it said. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's quite depressing because, her songs aren't happy. They're full of deep sadness, I would say, actually. Like it doesn't feel like that way, but it does. The tone, everything about it. And so to think that that's my appearance, sadness, I think it's quite upsetting, to be honest. She's a really good singer, and I love the songs. But it's very, very depressing because um, you know 10 years ago when I first found out that I was God, that I was Christ. It felt like winning the lottery. Wow, I've had a really shit, horrible life, and now suddenly it all makes sense why I've had a shit life, because I'm Christ. And the world's going to find out about me soon, and people are going to help me, and things are going to go better, and I'm going to live and do all the things that I wanted to do. Nah, 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 nah. That was just can't even talk. Can't even talk about it because it's so fucking awful. But yeah, hearing about the case of the partner who killed his abuser, it's sad, because if you read the article, all the favor goes on a paedophile, basically. Oh, this bad man, he was associated, he killed her, he stabbed 52 times. He alleged that he was an abuser. Now, I don't know the story. I don't know the story. Now, maybe it was just a case of him abusing him as a kid a couple of times, and maybe he didn't deserve it. But if that's the case, then why? What I think God has set this up. That's what my belief is. My higher self, who is the devil, yes, but I think she set this up. She probably found someone who was, a nice guy but a pedophile. When he died, he was reborn into a family, and then had a stepfather that was far, far, far worse, and probably made him go through shit in his life. And then he tried to recover, ending up dating Gabrielle, and then wanted revenge. And that could be the story. I wouldn't have just completely taken an innocent victim. But then again, on the other hand, I feel like I'm an innocent victim. I was an innocent victim, and shit still happened to me. And so just everything about life seems to just get worse and worse. When I was a kid, I used to think about how awful the world was, and all the things that I would do to serve to fix this. And if something bad had happened, I would make sure that the person who received something bad was a bad person in their past life. But I don't even feel that I want to do that now. Like, that's how fucking bad it is. What has happened to me is so fucking bad that I just feel like, why should I be the only one who has bad things happen to them when they don't deserve it? And so I feel like I don't even want, if my higher self is seeing the timeline and seeing everything that I'm going through, I don't even think my higher self wants to go back time and start making sure that all the people that receive bad things are bad people. Because I feel like she's looking at what's happening to me and just thinking, I don't give a shit. I didn't deserve to go through this. I didn't want to go through this. I don't want to be here. I don't want any of this to happen to me. And it's still happening. So what if a completely innocent person ends up with an abusive parent, and shit happens to them? I mean, they were innocent, but so was I. I mean, that's how fucking awful I feel. That's how much I hate this world. Like, I've tried so hard to want to help it, and it's still ignoring me. How can this fucking happen? I just don't understand. Like on one hand, it's like, okay, people know, people are helping me, people are going to set things up. It's just like, but are they? But are they? Do they know? Like, I was convinced Madonna knows, and yet I'm just like, does she? I mean, the other day she made a post about how she's crying about number of AIDS that are happening in the world. And it's just like, well, if she knows what's happening to me, why would she be crying over people having AIDS? I'm actually probably responsible for AIDS, because I think there's way too many people in this world, and people need to die so that I can control it better. And I don't know, everything she does seems to wind me up, and I don't think she even realizes it, because I don't know if it's her spirit talking, or just her messed up mind, or if she's serious, or maybe she's actually just upset about what's happening to me, and feels like, oh, I don't think I can go on stage and just sing songs about Anna's torment, when I know that Anna's actually in torment and actually believes that I don't even give a shit about her. I mean, I don't know what they know. And I've got stupid people on Facebook saying, oh no, Madonna's not reading any of this. Well, maybe she's not. I just don't know. To live in this thing where you just don't know anything, and to go 12 years not knowing anything, and you kind of want to sympathize with people and say, they do know, they are helping me, they are setting things up, and they're just like, well, where's the proof that they're helping me? Where's the proof that they're setting anything up? Where's anything? I'm not seeing anything. I'm just seeing people doing nothing but just making songs and turning my pain into entertainment. That's all I'm seeing. And I can't stand it. I can't stand being alive. I can't stand humans. I can't stand anything. I can't stand anything. I just feel like the whole world is in pain, and the stupid people who can't feel pain are too busy insulting people that can feel pain. And then hearing of this story of this guy who's killed someone who was an abuser for the whole of his childhood, and to know that that person was probably had told him maybe that he was abusing other kids, and probably just a terrible, nasty person. He got his justice. He got his revenge because he didn't want it any other way. He wanted his revenge on that person. And then the article, of course, angles it. He was the bad one. He was the one and he got life in prison. Life in prison for getting justice on someone who's destroyed his life. This is how unfair the world is. Now, I don't know what the story was. I don't know if the abuse that he faced was bad or not. I don't know what he was like in his past life. You know, maybe the abuse that he's faced in his life was justified compared to maybe in his past life he was an abuser, and this is why it's happened. And it annoys me, the fact that years ago I would have really cared about things like this, but because my abuse is now so severe, I don't care. I don't care about anything, and it's horrible because I've turned into a psychopath, but I still feel like I'm battling whether or not I should be a psychopath. This world has turned me into a psychopath because it doesn't want me. I created humans. Humans are only alive because of me, and yet most people who would hear me say this would laugh at me. Even with the knowledge that I know that thousands of people are doing things about me behind my back whilst ignoring me, but maybe they aren't. I don't know. Oh, well, you can't be God then. I'm just trying to hear what people would be responding, how people would be responding to me. It's awful because I don't know. And I know everyone would say different things. And then just everything seems to wind me up. And it's really, really horrible. And it's horrible also to know that, you know, I keep looking at the world and thinking it's awful, but there are some amazing buildings here. You know, there are some really, in Dubai particularly as well, and in all places all over the world, there's some really challenging, amazing buildings. I could not build these things. These are I'm not a builder. You know, there's a lot of skilled people here, and I feel like I should give them credit for building things. But then I heard that there was a documentary that I watched where the building collapsed, and the amount of suing that was done because of that collapsed building. It's just like I built an extension. I did it to my best ability. I didn't actually build it. I got builders in. You know, it's fine, but it's awful to think that I could rent this house out, and maybe that building isn't as fine as I think, and maybe it'll collapse on the renters, and maybe it'll kill one of the kids of the people who are renting here. And then to think that they could sue me for every penny that I owe, every penny that I've made throughout my whole life. They could destroy my whole life based on something I have absolutely no control over. You know, it's just like things like that wind me up even more, because it's like there's so many skilled people here and no one takes credit. If something goes wrong, these people who have built all these buildings could face huge, heavy fines, huge amount of stuff, even though they did their best, even though they probably didn't even do the building themselves, they got builders in, you know. I know things are insured. To sue insurers, when, you know, that's what the insurance is there for. The insurance is there to say if anything goes wrong, the insurance covers problems. But if the short insurance refuses to pay because some of the details in the case were inaccurate, well, then the victims of the people who are living in there, and or the family members, or the ones that survived, you know, they can sue the owner or the person who made that building, even though that person might have just been trying to be a good person, trying to do something, trying to build something. They could be working their whole life and everything can be taken away from them because of suing. And that also annoys me. Suing. Suing annoys me. People suing each other for huge amounts of money because of something that was very minor. I do massage. I did massage. The number of guys that have touched my ass, the number of guys who have said, "Oh, can I massage you? I like being massaged." They massage me. "Oh, can I sit on you?" Well, oh, you've already done it. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, you can sit on me, I guess. And yeah, they're naked. They're putting their dicks on my back. And I've had this loads of times. I didn't ask them to do it. I didn't want them to do it. But at the end of the day, it was a choice between me massaging them or them massaging me. I actually prefer them to massage me. And then sometimes it does go too far and it's not really what I wanted. But then I'm just thinking, well, is this really a big problem? And then to think that there's some people that are probably having far less than that done to them or just once or twice. And then they can go off and sue people for hundreds of thousands of pounds. Why? Because they're rich. Or millions of pounds in some cases, just because they're rich. I mean, that seems to be just taking advantage of people who are rich, because if someone does that to me, I have no right to sue them. If someone does some of the things that these people sue each other over, if a massage client did that to me, I would have no right or no ability or no power to do anything, just make 50 quid for the session. That's it. And it's just, you could say, oh, maybe I shouldn't do massage. Well, I'm not now, but I needed the money before because I was saving. You can't have no money and stuff. And I've got some money now, so I don't need to work. But to do that whilst knowing that you're the god of this world and that you're only in this position because no one wants to know you, or no one wants to talk to you, or no one wants to help you, or no one wants to do anything to help you in your daily life, and then to have to go through daily that. There were some weeks where I would be massaged more than I would massage other people. And it's fine, because sometimes you meet nice people and you think, oh, this is actually, I like this person. I'm talking, we're having a good conversation. And yeah, okay, he's naked, but it's just a body part. And then you could work somewhere, someone pulls their trousers down, you show them the dick, and then you can sue someone for thousands of pounds just for if they showed you a dick in a workplace or something like that. I mean, everything's just so crazy here, and I feel like lawyers are a big problem because they're only in it for the money. They don't care how much trauma and that actually caused someone and stuff. I mean, rape is bad. I know rape is bad, but if you're a type of person that goes off and has regular one night stands with people, and then one time, you are planning on maybe thinking of having a one night stand, and then you realize actually you're too drunk, and then it ends up being a one night stand, even though that wasn't really what you want. But I've been in that position. That's how it is in massage sometimes. There's people that I don't really want to sit on me, and I kind of stop them, and then it's too late, and I'm just like, oh well, I'll just accept that. I mean, and that happens a lot. The number of guys that touch my ass as well, like that's huge, and I don't want to talk about it because you know what? It's no big deal. It's nothing. What's not a big deal though is me knowing that I'm a god, and me knowing that this is the job that this world wants me to do because it doesn't want to help me. That is what is the biggest problem for me. And to also know that there are thousands of songs that I've helped inspire, and for every one of these songs, some people have made houses, especially not so much now, but in the past, I know that Lux girl, or said that LA Rooks girl, she said that there was still one good song that she had, and she said she bought a house because of it. And it's, I'm glad for her, but it's annoying to think that just one song like that can help you buy a house and have a nice, decent life. And yeah, I seem to have inspired all of them, and I've managed to buy my house only because of my own money and my mum giving me 50,000, and it's a £100,000 house. It's a cheap house, and it's unfair. And I wanted to help people in the past, but I feel like my life has been so unfair that if your life is unfair, I feel like I'm struggling. I won't be able to care any longer, and so I'm falling into severe depression, more so than I was before. And I do know how to end it. Getting you to fucking talk to me. But I don't know how to make you talk to me because I've been trying to make you talk to me for 10 years. So why are you not doing that?